Hi, it's Yvette, the craft shop girl. Today I'd like to share with you all of the ephemera that I'm making, and I'm hoping to give you some ideas of things that you can make to include in your own journal. I have a journal, I actually have 8 of them that I am filling, and that will be available on my Etsy shop. But first, I need to get through all of my ephemera. So I'm going to craft and show you a few of the items that I'm making, and then if I have time it'll be in one video. If not, it might be a 2-part video because I have another table over there with a bunch of other stuff and projects I still need to get through. So I'm going to start with the easy ones first. These are little bags that I'll show you what I've done. All I've done with these is used a strip of paper, glued it onto my bag, and fussy cut, fussy cut this little holly. On these I have little ornaments that I fussy cut out. I'm making 8 journals, so I have 8 of these bags. Everything's done in stacks of 8. So easy peasy. These stickers, I think I got these from Dollar Tree. I think that's where those came from. So that's my first item. Little bags. Oh my gosh, now I'm going to keep coughing. Some water. Okay, next are these little coin envelopes that come in different colors. For some reason, my dad purchased a ton of them and gave me them. And all I did was got some striped paper clips, one of my little coin envelopes, paper scrap, I fussy cut some printables, and I am going to put a list of all the printables because they were a lifesaver in helping me to get all of this accomplished. And I used different printables. Okay, so there you go. Easy peasy. Oops, get that on there. Okay, so those are my envelopes. And your ephemera doesn't have to be complicated. It can be simple or as easy as you want it to be. I also made these that, what I did is I used a stack and whack process in collaging these, and let's see, how many do I have here? I have 8 of each. I don't know where the rest of these are. But anyway, what I did is I made these, and I don't know if you can see the gold stitch. These are going to be Bellybands, and these are going to be tucks. So I'm going to put them in there like that so I can tuck papers in there. So 2 more items for my ephemera, and it's all gluing, and you can stitch, you don't have to stitch. These, I do have 2 process videos for doing the stack and whack. Really fun, really easy, and fast. I like that. Okay, next item is guest checks. So I made 8 of these with different Christmas trees. all I did was got one of these guest checks. I used my distressed oxide around the edges, gluing my tree. Kind of like when it floats off the edge a little bit. Then I have these tickets. My tickets, I just stapled those on. And then another fussy cut that says Merry Christmas. Glued that on. Stuck it over the whole thing. That's it. Oh, and I also used a stamp. So I stamped that on there. So another item. Next item is the time cards. So I made 8 of these, or 7, and I'll show you the 8th. And I fussy cut a bunch of images of snowmen. So cute. And what I did with these is I used, my vintage photo and a stencil. Again, you can do as much or as little as you want. And I just stenciled this almost to give it an appearance that it's been coffee dyed. Did that there. And then I did another over here. If you don't have stencils, you can also use stamps. If you don't have stamps, you can draw tiny little stars or snowflakes. What did I do with my other? Oh, here it is. And then what I did here is I have an old stamp, and I just stamped the date where it says pay period ending. And I just put December 25th there. And then my fussy cut, just glue it on the corner. That was it. Pretty simple. There's that. Okay, next item is I took just plain white envelopes and I used, where is it? I used this here to, let's see if I can show you. Do I have a piece of paper? No, of course I don't. Blank piece of paper that I can use. No, I have no paper. How do I have no paper? Let's see what I can find here. All of my things are over on my other desk because today I decided I was gonna clean. That's what I get for cleaning. Let's see if I can take this envelope apart. Or I can just show you on the edge here. Okay, so basically it's a paper punch that will give you that pretty little edge. So that's all I did with my white envelopes. I think it was more complicated to find a piece of paper than to do that. And then what I did is I fussy cut these little images and I used, where's my scissors? I used cleaning. Okay, I used my little scissors here to give it that stamped edge. And then what I used on it is this gloss glaze. And I don't know if you can see that. See the little shimmer? Basically, it kind of puts almost like a thin plastic coating on your paper. So what I did is I have them so that they can hold down the envelope like that. So that's what I'm trying to do. And then with that, my plan is to either create a tuck spot with the envelope that I can tuck things behind, or just leave it the way it is. You can also hinge it if you wanted to, but it's so that you can have a place to put more items in. So with this one, all I did was got my little stamp. Make sure I'm not gluing it too much. And while it's drying, I recommend taking that out. And there you go. There are the envelopes. And then I took my vintage photo and went around the edges of the back side, because this side I'm planning on gluing them in. Okay, so there's that one. All right, what do I have next? Let's see. These I still need to do some work on. I have these little clusters that I made. And what I did with these is I just cut pieces of ribbon, and this is like a wire ribbon. And I probably already put it away. Use my die cut to cut some circles. And then I just glued them all together. I lightly glued them actually, because what I was trying to do is just have them glued lightly, because then what I did is I ran these through the sewing machine and stitched them with gold thread. I don't know if you can see that. So those are my little clusters. I haven't figured out what or where I'm sticking these, but I made those ahead of time. This last one just needs to get put through the sewing machine like that. There's that. So next I have some window envelopes that I created. And these are using recycled window envelopes that you get from just about everybody that sends you mail. So what I did with these, and I'll show you with this one, is you want it to be sealed in the back. So depending on how you open your envelopes, I usually, this one I probably already glued it. Usually what I'll do is I will cut at the top to get my mail out, or cut on this edge to get my mail out. And then what I do is I'll glue it if I need to, depending on what I'm making. For this one, I cut along the bottom of the envelope so that I could put my paper in that window. So and these were really fun to make. At first I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with them, but then these window envelopes were sitting on my desk. And finally, once I figured it out, I just had so much fun making them. Okay. So I got that behind there. What I used was, here I used some washi tape. Others, I put strips of paper like that. There's all kinds of different ways you can do it. And you can be as detailed, or I think I keep it kind of simple. But this is how I did mine. They all are a little similar, but they're also very different. And it's fun when you make them in bulk, because when you're doing either a stack of journals like I'm doing, or if you just happen to get how much do I need there? You happen to want to create stuff just for your stash, your own personal stash. Doing it this way is easy, because you're just doing repetitive items and cut them all at the same time. Today I watched one of my friend's videos, and she made, she does these signature houses, and she did 25 Advent little house envelopes. And 25 sounds like a lot to me. I think I've done bulks of either 10 or 8. That's kind of my max. But she was saying how, you kind of get that assembly line thing going, and you just keep going with it. And you can make it as easy or as complex as you want. But once you do one, let me grab my stamps. Once you do one, then you're just repeating it. Okay, I kind of like that this is already red. Let's see here. I don't want this one somewhere too. It has a little plane on it. I thought it was cute. Let's see, let's put this one here. It upside down. Oh well. No one will know, just us. Okay, so then what I did is I ran it through my embossing machine. I don't know if you can see that, but it has a small texture on this side of the envelope. I didn't do, here's my folder that I'm using. I didn't do the tail end of it. I just did that side of it. Like that. Okay. So see that? And this is just an extra step. If you don't have an embossing machine, you don't have to do that. Sometimes what I've done when I emboss things, I will stamp my embossing folder, And then you can see the imprint. It's a little more noticeable. The other thing I like to do with my recycled envelopes is to coffee dye them. It gives them a little grungier look. I like to pretty much coffee dye almost everything, and I had to stop myself from doing it because it would have taken me forever to get to these items. And then I'm going to show you, I don't want that on there. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with these envelopes. My plan is to use them as a flip and a tuck, and then they're also going to be, oh, I did this for me. They're also going to be 2 pockets. So, let's see. Okay. So for this portion, it's going to have these little tags in here. And these tags I made with this. If you don't have one of these, you can just make a tag however you'd like. Punch a hole. You can use your own template to cut the corners if you'd like. I made a template out of a old room key. You can use the angles and do an angled tag. Oh, somewhere I must have a ribbon. Oh, I'll have to cut another one. Okay, so that's what I did with this one. Used my vintage photo around the edges. I made 8 of these. Okay, so that's how I did that tag. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I'm going to make the tag that's going to go inside of this pocket. So with that, I have more printables. These are all vintage labels, icicles, Christmas ornament hangers. And what I'm using for these tags is an animal cracker box. My parents, I think, are addicted to these animal crackers, so they give me these boxes that they get from Target, and I love them because I like the inside of them. They're already done, in my opinion, and I actually am going to be using this to make some tags, so that's the next step. I'll show you how I do that, but for now, we're just going to be using the face of the box to make tags. And what I decided to do with these is I'm going to leave the back side alone. I'm going to just do this side. And let's see if I have, how much paper do I need? I think what I'm going to do is a mini stack and whack for this, because then I'll get an even cut. All right, so you get your 2 pieces of paper together, and then you're just going to tear them at the same time together, like that. And then you're going to swap them. So this is going to be for this, and this is going to be for that. So did that make sense? It did to me. I don't know if you've already muted me and you're just watching the video or not. So what I like to do is I like to watch videos while I craft. And I also sometimes will speed up some of the videos because I have them on my TV here in my craft room. And one day I started feeling really anxious. I couldn't understand. I knew I had my normal cup of coffee. I can't have a lot of caffeine, but I really was feeling on edge. And then I realized that I had put one of the videos on at a fast speed, and the woman was talking so fast that it was giving me anxiety. So now I have to make sure that I watch the speed on the TV. Anyway, okay. So that's my plan for this. I do need to trim this. I think I'm just going to use the scissors and trim it. Oops. Well, that was horrible. I might have to get my paper trimmer and do that. I like clean edges. Let's see, these are approximately, they're like 5.5 by 7, so I'm going to do 3.5. So each card will be 3.5. Okay, there's 2 cards there. So we have these for the other tags. So I have to make 8. And then I think I'm going to do more of my photo. My vintage photo on here. And I think I'm going to leave a square edge on this because what my plan was is to put a little tab on the edge of this tag. I'll show you right now. Okay, so I always start off crafting sitting down, and somewhere I realize that I'm standing. I don't know when it happens, but most of my crafts I think now are done standing up. Okay, so there's that tag, and I'm planning on just, I don't know if I want to glue it or if I want to staple it. I think I'm going to do a little bit of both because I want that tab to be closed. And then I can always staple it to reinforce it. Yeah, I think I'm going to staple it. I don't want that metal edge there. Okay, so there's that tag. See how nice the back side is? I love that. And then, so this tag is gonna live in here like that. And then this one will have this one on this side. And then in the book, it's going to, let me find a blank page. It's going to live this way, like that. So to journal, you can flip this. This can be writing, this can be writing. But on this side, pull this out a little bit so it shows. On this other side, my plan is to partially glue this down. And then what you can do is you can use it, once it's glued halfway, you can use it as a tuck on this side. And it's still a pocket over here with this tag there. So that's how that one is going to be used. Let me take this one. Actually, I think I'm just going to leave it in there. Okay. Everything's falling. Okay, so that's those tags. That's how I did that one. All right, let me grab the next one. Okay, so this is probably going to be the last item that I do on this video because my pile of ephemera over there is not getting smaller. It's actually growing. I just came up with some more ideas. So I'm gonna just keep going. And hopefully I will just have a part 2 of my videos and stop there. So what I did here is, again, I used the animal crackers box, which I have one more to do, but I made these tags just out of some paper and used this punch, and you can see I glued them all on, and this is my final tag. So this could be inserted into the journal, or the other idea I had before I put this backing on it is to just have it as a fixed tag to make a tuck. So all I did with this one is I used my corner rounder here, glued these on, and I like it to kind of stick off the edge a little bit. Did that, put that on. My tickets, which the tickets, I actually like it when it's not completely, so it kind of has a 3-dimensional look. And then I fussy cut a bunch of Santas. I have Santas. I have some snowmen that I want to still fussy cut for the rest of those. And then I have these little houses. They look like little gingerbread houses. So these are all printables also, and I will put the link of the Etsy shop that I purchased all of my printables from, because I love printables. If I could make them myself, I would. I'm not there yet, so for now, I purchased them, and I'm so happy that I'm able to do that, because they're just a lifesaver. They're so cute and affordable, and they really They really jazz up projects, so totally thankful for that. Uh-oh. Where are my words at? It's the other thing. My desk is getting so overwhelmingly cluttered. Let me go grab those. And I actually have two desks. So I've got my prep and I've got the one I actually work at. I think I'm going to do the North Pole one. Okay, and then what I used is this punch here. It looks about centered. Yep, that works. Use that. Used a little bit of my ribbon here. Do about 6 inches on these. That seems to kind of give me enough to play around with and knot it. Between like 5 and 6 inches is always a good length. I lost it there. Okay. So there's that one. And then I have this on the back, so that provides a little bit more writing space. So that's it. That is an easy tag to make. Again, you can use fussy cut items, you can use anything to embellish it. And honestly, you could even leave it just blank and stick it in there to journal on. So next is some tags that I made, and I do have a process video showing how I did the embossing. But basically, I recycled some animal cracker boxes and made some tags. And I used the Distress embossing dabber and the Ranger Princess Gold embossing powder on that. And I also purchased these stickers from Hobby Lobby that I stuck on there, the little gold stars, and this ribbon with little birds. It's adorable. So those are the tags that I made. And like I said, you can see the video of how I did the embossing. Super easy, super fast. So there's that. The next item I'm going to make is, I haven't decided if these are going to be tags or if they're going to be used for tucks or pockets. But I found these old fragili, these little fragile stickers, and I thought it would be fun to add those as either, like I said, they could be a tag, they could be a pocket. So I'm going to make these ahead of time, and I am going to end up having a process video for filling my journal, so you can kind of see my thought process of how I put together my journal. But this is how I get all of my my ephemera and start creating some of my stash. These stickers are really old, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back because they don't even feel that tacky. They stuck to the roll, but I think that's probably about it. So super simple, just recycling these old tags. And these are from the animal cracker boxes. Those tags were made from the side of the box. And here's the entire box. So I used this portion for the stickers, and then this is what I made my tags out of. So that's one idea for, like I said, tags, a tuck, or a pocket. And I'll show you how I put those together once I put the book together. The next thing I want to show you is these tags here. These I made doing a stack and whack process on the front side. These are just used recycled file folders, and I did a gold stitch on these, put some ribbon, and you can watch the stack and whack video of how I did this process. Then I made these little clusters with a circle cut out and a fussy cut, and just lightly glued this on and stitched it across with some gold thread, and then glued this onto my tag like that. And with this one, I used fabric tack to do that. So I'll glue one right now just so you can kind of see how much glue. This glue really, oh, that's all around the whole thing. Super simple. And there's that tag. So those are these are already made. Those are the tags that I just need to add these to. Next, what I want to show you is these little Christmas tree tags. And what I did with these is I just use these already made shipping labels or shipping tags, and I used a stamp on one side, and then on the other I bought these little baking cups from Dollar Tree, and use 3 of them to make this little tree. And what you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half, and then you're going to fold it again, and I leave a little bit of an edge just to kind of give a little layer there. Then I used my art glitter glue for these and just glued these together. Let's see if that sticks and dries. You kind of want to have them a little puffy. You just want enough glue just to kind of keep it down so it doesn't fold open. Kind of see if there's one that's a little bit smaller or larger, keep that on the bottom. That kind of seems a little bit bigger. And then you're just going to spot glue them together. You don't need a lot of glue. There's that one. Before I glue it, I have these little paper clips with stars on them. And I just pin those to the top. Cute little, I don't know if you can see that little star paper clip. I thought they were adorable. And then I just glued this down wherever it'll stick. Put that on my tag. And then I used some scrap chipboard and just glued this little tree trunk to the bottom there, just to kind of ground it so it's not a floating Christmas tree. So that's it. That's my little baking cup Christmas tag. If I can get this in here. It's already starting to unravel. And that's it. Super easy tag. I think it's pretty cute with the little baking cups. You could even, if you wanted to, you could use larger baking cups and make a larger tree. I kind of like these little tiny ones though. I think they're really cute. And you could use plain ones. You don't have to have them with a print. So that's the idea, using these baking cups from Dollar Tree. Okay, and then the next item that I have is I did some die cuts. So these little snowflakes, these were bought at Hobby Lobby. And then what I did is I made these little file folders. So I couldn't find cutouts or any kind of clip art or anything that I thought would go with this. So I made my own just on a Word document. I did a little confidential and a naughty or nice. And I just cut out my own ephemera. And then with these, I just ran them through the die cut. And I have this little one here. You can hear my dog scratching. These dogs. Okay, so hopefully I have this lined up correctly. I'm doing this off camera. Okay, so hopefully this is the plate I had. Maybe I'll do the next one. Not on my craft desk. That made a lot of racket. Okay. Oops. Okay, so here's my little file folder. And then all I did was I just glued these already cut out snowflakes. Put that off a little bit. And then I wanted to have a little bit of a vintage feel on this naughty nice, so it's not stark white. So what I did is I took my vintage photo and went over the entire piece of paper just to give it a little bit of a vintage feel, so it's not completely stark white. That. And then the confidential I left it white, completely white. I love these little tiny files. They're just adorable. Anything that's miniature to me is just super cute. I should have used a different glue on that. Okay, there's your little file folder. Another piece of ephemera there. So that's that one. And then I think I am going to run the next one in off camera because that shook up a lot. So what I did is I have these little Viewmaster dies that I made, and this one together, and I'll run it through and kind of show you. That makes it feel a little bit better. So here's this one. And then what I did is I have some stars that I purchased that are already cut out from, these were from Hobby Lobby. And then what I'm going to use these for is probably as tuck spots inside of my journal. So I just glued the star on, and then I, let's see, which one do I want? I have some printables that I fussy cut out with different labels. Some of them just have words, some of them are labels. This one says Shining Bright. This one's actually a little toy label and tinsel and garland. They're really cute. They're a little vintage. But that's going to be a tuck spot. So this one, I'll probably do something like this where I have it glued on two of the sides, and then that can be used as a tuck like that. So those are a few more items that I'm making for my journals. What I'll do is once I'm finished with all of my ephemera, I will go ahead and do a flip through of me putting in and filling it, and that's when everything comes together and it starts looking like a holiday journal. So I hope you enjoyed those few little tips on making ephemera, and I hope you have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.